Good afternoon, everybody. This is me. I just had my lunch. I went on this lower calorie or like track diet. I think I set it at 1200. So if it's a little bit less, or if it's I think 13 for 1340, something like that, it will still count it as in the goal. But I haven't been entering everything in. The first week I was really good at sticking to the schedule and doing more breaks so that I could let my GI tract rest, and I also did the rest and digest afterwards. With all of that, I started losing some weight, and then everything went out of whack starting with Sundays, and then everything went out of whack with appointments or other things for the family. And I was like, did I think this out well? Because the first week I felt was excellent. It was just, I was on track. Everything felt very more organized in my life. So I have untreated ADHD, and I've had this forever. I've had this in developmental disorders, and nobody's really taking me serious on the challenges, and they are not wanting to see me be successful. I've gone my whole life with people saying, you can't, when I'm doing things, and they always title me wrong, label me wrong, just from childhood up, from starting with my parents all the way up that chain of like the timeline of my life. So anyways, why would they want to assist me to do better with my health, my physical and my mental, and even my spiritual health? Anyways, rest and digest, doing my schedule, not having anyone take me seriously, like, oh yeah, whatever. And everything got out of whack, and then my weight turned into a pound every day gain, every single day. And even if the calories weren't too much, it was that there was some stability with that rest and digest and that schedule of breakfast, lunch, dinner. The snack the first week was some tea that I put in the fridge, because people are like, oh, don't drink cold drinks. Don't do. Listen, I went 20 years without drinking cold drinks and asking for warm water at restaurants and all. I wanted to have something that was already made, that had a little bit of honey in it, so I could take a sip of that, like I used to do with my my warm chocolates I used to make. Working all the time and having a schedule because of the jobs, or no schedule, but only like a little bit of a window for snacks or breaks, I needed to have some calories in between, because I have a habit of hypoglycemia and low blood sugar between meals, where I was feeling dizzy, and I had a lot of issues with that as a child. And my mom also had that. And my dad would not stop to eat when we were doing car rides, and she was not doing well. And one thing I don't like about being a woman is not being treated seriously unless someone thinks that you're got a certain look that they like, and then they're going to listen to you. Whether they hear you is one thing, but they're going to pay attention to you. So with from my mom, she had to do what she could do. She had to carry some cheese and crackers, some carbs in her purse with her in the car, not in the trunk or anywhere, because no one's going to stop for her to get that out. But I thought, as I was a kid, I thought how rude that was, because my dad had no idea what her body was doing, or what ailments she had, or what her doctor told her to do, especially with diabetic medications and stuff, where you can really have some serious trouble when you're dealing with like the regular meds, insulin, all that stuff. That's not acceptable. That's not acceptable. And we weren't the type of people to be having drinks in our cars either. And if she did even have a sweet drink, I don't think it would have had sugar in it, or corn syrup. I think it would have been a sugar-free option. I'm not positive. I don't really remember drinking drinks in the car, though. We might have got them with meals from fast food, but I don't even know if we did that, because I don't know. I can remember myself and my kids always having some kind of cup holders and stuff. Even if it was like water, or the kids get the little bottles of the chocolate milk and stuff. But there's one thing you can't tell a man is how you feel as a woman when you're dealing with stuff that they don't deal with. And being pregnant and nursing for about 4 years straight, pregnant and nursing, just nursing, I could feel 24/7 how often, and as the child got bigger, how often you need to feed, how much more you need to feed. And it wasn't like the breakfast, lunch, dinner that I'm going to fast in the night. It wasn't that, hey, I'm a man, I'm going to really drink a coffee for breakfast, maybe not have a lunch, and then have a dinner. I see a lot of men doing that. But as a woman who has kids, I'm not pregnant now, I'm not having kids now, and who has had menstrual cycles, that dizziness and that pain and that hangriness and that fluctuating hormones, even just through the whole month and through your life, the shifts and then these pauses and these drops and the stress, and then you gotta add the cortisol and the DHEAS and all of these markers you have in your body. You can measure with lab testing, you can measure with saliva testing, and then you're feeling a certain way when you had a kid. When you were a kid, you had some serious health issues. Then you learn to address them, physical, hormonal, and your blood sugar, all that stuff. I had to learn. I mean, even you could think of it easy as, hey, this person got a bunch of sunburns when they were a kid. Okay, that's straightforward. They'll put the kid outside, put the adult outside, use a sunscreen, stay in the shade, put a hat on, do this, do that, get your skin checked, no any moles. Like, it's straightforward. It's linear. But with my health, I can't speak for all women. It's much more like linear from my point of view. So being a woman in the United States, in a Western world, going through school and work, and everything needs to be masculine, but you need to be feminine looking to do the job. And if you can pull off, at least the jobs I've worked, if you could pull off that, hey, I can be there with the guys, I could do this, there's no one saying you can be like, oh, let me run to the bathroom. I think I need to put a product in, and I'm having cramps, and I'm taking my 5-minute break now. And people are like, no, we're in the middle of something. You can't. You gotta wait, And some people do that with their infants. They're like, no, you can't eat right now. I don't care how much you cry. Your feeding schedule isn't for 2 more hours. Like, that's why you have another reason you have providers coming over and doing weight checks and all that stuff. But I can't make somebody else's body. I can't make people I know that are female that never had kids. I can't make them feel what I felt when you have this. For me, I asked some pregnant people that didn't have it for their connection. I feel like I don't have time to the earth, and I haven't actually found anyone else that felt like that. So I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna stop it. Just like being a black person, I'm gonna stop. I say this, but I don't want to be like, haha, she said that and she's not doing it. This video, you can turn it off whenever, but I'm not going to go dwell on it with people around me, or place of worship, or 12-step meetings, or family dynamic, or extended family. No. It's like beating a dead horse, man. It's like, there's no point. It's futile. And somebody who's going to actually get paid attention to, just like everything else, I fought the good fight, and I'm going to have to do what worked for me. And what worked for me as a single mom with 2 small children, and having all of this that I'm talking about, and this ability to raise them completely alone. Being in some of the programs I was in. I mean, when your rent is like over $2,000 for a 2-bedroom, $1,000, 15, 20 years ago. It's really hard when you're a single mom. You got to pay for daycare. You got to get the kids from school. You don't have daycare after a certain time. So it's hard to work than 9 to 5. It's hard to work. For me, it was. If things fell into place, I live here, the kids' school is here, and I work here, that would be a whole other story. And the daycare's open to such and such time, I can make it. I can run across the street and make it. But it's always was in the metro area going back and forth. I actually don't even know. I know there's people that are single moms like this. I don't know anybody that personally that's dealt with being alone with their kids for 18 years or for 16 years. There's a lot that I did, including prayer, gut instinct, etc. And I feel like as a woman, I was born woman, cisgender female. I'm speaking for myself because I can't speak for other people. I can't speak for men. I can't speak for people under 18. I can't speak for transgender people. I cannot speak for people that are not me. But I'm labeling myself and saying that for myself. The way that I think, the way that I do things, the way that I become successful, I feel like it just gets squashed down by other men, or men and other women. And then your children see that treatment, and then they treat you. I mean, you have a whole classroom full of kids, and some parent or someone from down the hall comes in and says just a certain thing, and then forever now these kids think that. That happened to my son when we went to a doctor's appointment. I don't know what it was even about, but he said, that's your fault that your kid's like that. And what I did was I cleaned up my life, including fleeing for my life from my ex, and I took them into safety. And I worked, and I went to school full time, and I started even going to school 7 days a week, and running people across different counties for babysitting, running people, driving 2.5 hours to drop my kids off a babysitter, and then going to work a job that only like an hour and 15 minutes, just to make ends meet, you know, like. It's because there was very few people that offered help. And even this one couple, that lady offered help. Even her husband, like, tried to break up my hand at church by squeezing it and not letting go when I shouted to stop. I should have filed a police report right then and there. But, you know, you learn your lesson. Like, don't go to that place and don't talk to people like that ever again. The doctor said everything was my fault. And I got in the car and my son said, yeah, that's exactly right. You heard the doctor. It's all your fault. Anything that's bad in our life is you. Even their behavior, this and that, racism, everything. I had a counselor. We were on Medicaid, so we can only go for about 2 or 3 weeks, and then they cut us off. And that's pretty much your intake time. They're like, you got more than one child. They both act different. They both act the way they act. And that stuff people say about one, people don't like. What people don't like? Boys running around in circles in the classroom or whatever. I'm having a hard time sitting 7 hours a day when you're in kindergarten. Girls do that too, but sometimes we're learning to be over-obedient. It's overwhelming. And this counselor was like, you have 2 kids and they act completely different. So don't let people tell you that it's all your fault. Everyone's got their own personality, their own, style of mannerisms and all that. And, it's the different qualities the children have is taught by me. But some things the older you get, it's just like trying to blame someone for a crying baby on an airplane or a poopy baby. It's just like, don't you realize we all were like that? We were all born and we were all crying and we were all poopy. Period. And yeah, I guess it's my fault because I allowed myself to get pregnant and have the child. But so did your parents. So here you are, and here I am. Welcome. welcoming. No, don't say welcome to me. I can't tell you what to say. But I have a lot of work to do. I'm still off, but I'm not, because I had some people on my schedule, so I gotta really check my schedule and all this. I am at a point where I'm not liking what I see clearly, and especially with my demographic and the way that I look. I knew that people didn't like me because of the way I look. My whole life, it's obvious. I mean, again, be the kid that gets out all the birthday party invitations and nobody comes. Luckily, I had like 3 people come. Luckily I had 3 people come to my birthday party. And my mom was really mean, so I had exactly like 2 birthday parties. My whole growing up, and then my brother's girlfriend one time was over and was like, "Wait, you guys aren't doing anything for your sister's birthday?" He's like, "No," and she was like, "Let's make a cake." And they made me a purple cake, which I didn't even know was possible. They took some food coloring and dyed the icing or whatever. I was like, wow. I was so grateful, actually, you guys. I think I was in middle school. So thank you to my brother and his girlfriend for wishing me happy birthday. That was, I still remember to this day, because it was not, especially when I was kind of little, it was not, my mom didn't like me, so it wasn't a thing. It wasn't a good thing. It was not a good thing. I just, sorry to say, this kind of stuff I wish I could tell my counselors so they don't give me the space. They get on me about stuff. Why didn't you use mine? Just like, I did that 100 times over. Like, don't blame me because the way society reacts to me. I don't dye my hair. I don't straighten my hair. I don't do the makeup. I don't have cute clothes and shoes or anything. And I just deal with being me. And I think it's real hard. I'm gonna go take my time. Like, be in my own zone, because I had a question for you guys, so I can't remember what it is. So let's switch gears. I'm being me. Raw food diet. What happened to Matt Mono? Some of his videos about stuff has him at 1 hour or something. I knew that he wasn't necessarily vegan because he was doing like the colostrum and stuff, but somebody on Reddit saying he had the supplements and the colonics, and then I don't know if he ended up with colon cancer or he had part or all of his colon removed, so don't quote me on this. He still has his food website up with the food. I haven't ordered. I don't think I've ever ordered from him. I'm actually, you know what? I think I ordered from him. Before, now that I think about it, I remember getting like a business card in the box. What happened to him? And what's he eating now? And I kind of think Billy still has this. He actually has some affordable things, but I will tell you, and I don't know if I have this in a disclaimer, but I don't ever tell anybody about raw food to do 100% raw food. With me and my health, chronic health, food allergens, intolerances, like crazy, breaking out full body rashes, not being able to think. Do you think that I don't want to do beans and rice with a little bit of protein, extra protein, like chicken every day, maybe a little cheese, stuff in moderation? Do you not think that I don't want to drink the tap water or just eat any kind of fruit, whether it's sweetened, whether it's organic, whether it's Jello, whatever? Like, that's what I grew up on, and I'm thinking that's affordable, but my body won't tolerate it, and I'm alive today because I tolerate something else. I don't want to see people end up stuck like me, where you get something in your food that you ordered that they claim is raw, and you eat it, and your tongue swells up, and you can't sleep, and you're breaking out in hives, and you got sinus congestion, all this stuff. You're just like, wow, what did I eat? You were contaminated with something that you can't eat. So, anyways, I'm just saying that as a disclaimer. I look at people as individuals, and some people can't do anything raw because of their GI. But that's that's something you can even think about just in your community, people around you. It's not my business. If they come to me as a healthcare provider, then I can take a look at, oh, what's going on, and just do it and just be there for them. Individual, case by case. What are you looking for? How can I help you? How can we fill in the gaps to make sure you're getting all the nutrients? Make sure you're not overdoing certain nutrients, making it hard on your body, or toxic even. With that, I'm gonna go have my time. It's 82 degrees in here, and I believe I'm irritable. Last thing, the Italian couple leave everything in wonder. They had a place in Sicily, a restaurant in Sicily, I believe, where there's an iced, sweetened lemon dessert. I think they sweeten and heat the lemon juice. I don't know if they add water. They might, I don't know. And then that gets frozen, I think, and then they blend that up into my mind wants to think like a snow cone or something. So I keep buying lemons so I can do that. I haven't done it yet, so maybe I'll do it today. Actually, I might, because I was supposed to juice some orange juice and I didn't. So I'm letting you guys know that. Peace, guys. I'll let you know how that goes. And maybe on this channel, maybe in the NARM, I would like to do more little, 5-8 minute little videos on, even 1 minute videos on certain herbs that I like, certain things that I like to do and why. Nothing like, hey, do this, but just giving like education, information, and my personal story. So I'll let you guys know that's been on my mind for many years. So I'm just feeling like I'm not able to do it the way that influencers who actually have views and make a profit do it. I don't have the equipment or the patience or the skills. But I feel like there's got to be some sort of following of people that can understand the way that I present things and do a little bit more with presenting instead of just the talking with this dark camera and not taking you out to go see the water or the fields or the cows. That's actually what I really wanted to do. But I do have less donations accepted. That was one of the things that I had donations. A shout out for my donations on the people that want to donate and my midwifery materials I needed. So I'm just, this was in a mystery box, but it doesn't have, the battery doesn't work and don't have a memory card, and it's really old, obviously. So it is what it is. I kind of messed up. Thought maybe I could sell the rest of the stuff and buy like a regular camera, but I definitely wanted to present better quality picture, sound, and surroundings. Ooh, my shoulder hurts. That's my cue. Bye, guys. Peace be with you.